Hi Leo, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. So this is your January 1st to the 15th, 2018 Love Gypsy Tarot spread reading. Hope you all had a fantabulous Christmas and I hope you have an even better New Year. So let's have a look for you guys. Universe Spirit, what do you see coming in for Leo in love in a 21 card Gypsy Tarot spread? What do you see coming in for Leo? Show me Leo in love. What's coming in for Leo and love? Leo, Sun, and Rising signs. Leo, Sun, and Rising signs. Leo, Sun, and Rising signs for love in a 21 card Gypsy Tarot spread for January 2018. Show me. Okay, let's have a look. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Alright Leo, where are you mentally at the moment? Well, the Ace of Wands is reversed. So the Ace of Wands reversed means sometimes this is relationships that are quick to start but quick to end. Ace of Wands means non-starter, and it also means failure. It also means a lack of growth. So it might be that you're focused on something that has a lack of potential, that hasn't grown. It also could mean that maybe you guys are doubtful or you're lacking attraction in a certain area with the Ace of Wands in the reverse. It is typically a card that talks about failure and the inability for growth to start within a relationship, or a non-starter of a relationship. Around that, mentally and emotionally, you don't want to put the effort in. So mentally and emotionally, I think that you're very tired. I almost feel like you mentally and emotionally feel that around this feels like a dead end with the 8 of coins in the reverse. What's the reason for that? Well, because of an Emperor in the reverse. Emperor in the reverse means either you don't want to conform, or it could be that you're dealing with a tyrant. So I feel that Emperor in the reverse, it's a very weak energy, Leo, when you get the Emperor reversed. So I feel that here the situation is about a relationship that has failed. It might be with this Ace of Wands in the reverse. The relationship's run out of steam. It's run out of fire. It's become very boring, or it's become there's a lack of attraction, or a lack of sexual energy, or you know, you're not attracted to the individual anymore. It's just a very, very, you know, energy-less card when it's in the reverse. And I do think this is a relationship, by the way, Leo, but I think that you've run out of steam with it. I'm seeing something that has died, or something with the Ace of Wands in the reverse that lacks any potential for growth, being the situation. It's lacking in the reverse with this Ace of Wands in the reverse. And around that, mentally and emotionally, I think that you're just around this energy. I think that you don't feel energized. You don't feel the need to put any effort into this situation. I feel that you almost feel like you've come to a dead end, mentally and emotionally. You're at a dead end concerning this relationship. And it's because of an Emperor in the reverse. This might be a very weak individual. This might be a very tyrannical individual. This might be somebody who's very overpowering as the Emperor in the reverse. It could also be that the Emperor in the reverse is also a state that says, you know, I don't want to commit to this. Some of you guys might not want to commit to this, or maybe somebody doesn't want to conform and commit to you. Around your present situation, we've got the 6 of Swords in the reverse. So the situation with the 6 of Swords in the reverse either speaks about somebody changing their mind, or somebody who can't move on. Somebody who, this is the card of delay. So Leo, it might be that somebody can't move on. The situation is about not being able to move on here with the 6 of Swords in the reverse. What you're experiencing around that in the present situation is the devil. So some of you guys do feel trapped. So I feel that you feel trapped. I feel that the situation is you can't move on. Somebody can't move on, being the situation, Six of Swords in the reverse, and around that the energy is of being trapped with the devil energy. And what's the reason for that? Or being in bondage? Because of the Page of Wands in the reverse. Could be because of a child. Might be a difficult child. For some of you guys though, Leo, it might be with the Page of Wands in the reverse. There is a certain fear factor here. In the upright, this page is all about taking risks and being curious and wanting to move on to the next stage and wanting to have some fun and explore different things. It might be in the reverse. I get the impression that somebody around you won't allow you to move on. Because I don't think this is you. I don't think this is you. I think the situation is that you can't move on with that Six of Swords in the reverse. And around that, you're feeling trapped because of a Page of Wands in the reverse. I think this is somebody around you with this Page of Wands in the reverse who is reluctant for some of you Leos to let you go. This person can't define their own path with the Page of Wands in the reverse. I get the impression with this reading. Because this could be quite a fearful individual. Page of Wands in the reverse also means to be cautious. But I feel that this person lacks any type of spontaneity or energy. I don't think it's you that can't move on because you're mentally and emotionally you're tired. Eight of Coins in the reverse. You don't want to put any effort into this situation, but it's because of an Emperor in the reverse. I think that you've got a very weak individual around you. And I think this Emperor in the reverse is the same as the Page of Wands in the reverse. I think this person takes a lot of your energy. I think this person doesn't have strength and they don't have confidence, both being reversal cards. And I think that you guys feel trapped by that because you can't move on. What's going on around your hopes? Well, the situation again is another reversal. And the funny thing is, I don't put reversals in this deck. Very odd, and I'm getting reversals showing up. Situation is about the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Knight of Wands in the reverse, for me, this is about somebody who's either flaky, comes in, goes out, comes in, goes out. Or this can be about putting a halt on a situation, putting the brakes on a relationship. Around that, what are your hopes? The Nine of Wands. Well, it's funny because your hopes are to hold on in there. Nine of Wands is to hold on in there. If that's not the case, this is somebody who keeps coming and going, and your hopes are... But then it wouldn't... This is a hope. Your hope would be to hold on. Nine of Wands is all about to hold on in there, despite whatever negative energy is going down, despite however tired you are, however knackered you are, this is to hold on in there. Give something one last try. So therefore we have to look at this reading again. Because who is the Page of Wands in the reverse? And why are you feeding this, the devil? I think this is you guys here that are unable. This isn't another person, I feel now. Because you're wanting to hold on here, despite this. The situation is the brakes have been put on this relationship. And your hopes are the Nine of Wands. This is about holding on, not unless you're being cautious. Let's have a look at why we've got the Nine of Wands as the hope. Oh, well, Three of Swords in the reverse. You want to rectify the situation. You want to hold on until this time of difficulty passes with the Three of Swords. You want to resolve. You want to hold on to this relationship because you want a resolution. Three of Swords in the reverse. This is your hope. Nine of Wands in the upright. Three of Swords is to resolve a situation. It's to heal a situation. So your hopes are to hold on to this situation. Hold on out until this situation is resolved or there's been some resolution. Because the brakes are put on. But you're not unless this person needs to resolve something with whatever they're doing. It's one or the other. Because you guys are feeling trapped with the devil energy. The situation is being unable to move on, do your own thing, leave. Six of Swords is to leave. This should show up in a reading when somebody's already out the door. But the Six of Swords in the reverse means, well, there's a delay here. I can't move on. So the situation is about somebody who's unable to move on here. And around that, what you're experiencing is feeling trapped. Because of a Page of Wands energy in the reverse. No, actually, no. I do feel that still, not unless I get deeper into the reading I see something else, I do feel there's somebody who's acting like a chain around your neck. I think somebody's holding you back. Somebody's very reliant on you. And your hopes are that you can hold on in there until this situation gets resolved. So maybe this person's got problems with moving out. or this person's got problems with leaving you because they don't know what to do and they don't know where to go next. But your hopes are, you know, the situation is that a break has been put on this relationship, Knight of Wands in the reverse. It's no longer all systems go, Knight of Wands in the reverse. And your hopes are, well, around that, I'm hoping that I'll be able to hold on because all I want is a resolution to this issue, Three of Swords in the reverse. What are your expectations? Situation is about renewal. Resurrection is the judgment card of a relationship sometimes, and sometimes this is to make a very big decision. Around that, what are you expecting around judgment? Queen of Wands in the reverse. Well, you expect a lack of confidence. Queen of Wands in the reverse is to feel a lack of confidence. So the situation is about resurrecting this situation, in which if you do that, what you'd expect is the Queen of Wands in the reverse, and that's great unhappiness, great insecurity. You would expect to feel very insecure, and this is you, Leo, because Queen of Wands is either Leo or Aries. So you would expect to feel a great deal of insecurity, a lack of faith in this relationship, and what's the reason for that? Because of the Six of Cups in the reverse. There's still issues in this relationship that just haven't been dealt with. Six of Cups in the reverse represents something that's been way done in the past, but it's not been resolved. There's no resolution, which is why when you get the Six of Cups in the reverse, people are often stuck in the past. The past is the past, and sometimes you don't resolve a situation from the past, especially if it was something that was very nice in the past. It might be that you've met somebody, and the relationship, when you started out, it was beautiful, and you had the greatest of times together, and then suddenly, over a number of years, things start to turn sour. And it might be that the relationship ends, for example, just as an example to you what the Six of Cups in the reverse is. But still you're stuck in the past of the loveliness of the relationship, because that's the only nice thing that you've got to hold on to. So the Six of Cups in the reverse is sometimes a past situation where there is no resolution to it. I think that the situation around your expectations is, well, your focus is on, well, what if we tried to resurrect this relationship? Well, I would expect to feel very unhappy with the Queen of Wands. I would expect that this would make me feel a sense of weakness, a sense of insecurity, because this person isn't letting go of the past. I'm getting the impression there's somebody around you, Leo, that's not facing up to what you're facing up to. I think that you're seeing the truth in a relationship for what it is in the first 2 weeks of January 2018, but there's somebody around you that refuses to see that. No wonder they don't want to leave. This person could be an Aries individual around you, a fellow fire sign around you, but you're feeling trapped by them because it's almost like you're having to deal with a child. And you're tired. Mentally and emotionally, you feel tired. Eight of Coins in the reverse. You feel like you're working towards nothing because you've got an Emperor in the reverse. There's somebody who I feel that you just can't compromise with. There's somebody here I feel that is a very weak energy around you, and you're looking for somebody who's strong, but there's somebody around you who's very weak. I always get the impression there's a chain around your neck. Let's go what you can't see coming in. Well, the situation will all be about making choices or confusion. Seven of Cups in the upright. Around that, what you can't see coming in is the Lovers in the reverse. So some of you guys will make a choice, I feel, to separate from this individual with the Lovers in the reverse. And what's the reason for that? Well, you're falling out of love. Ace of Cups in the reverse. You've got no more love to give. I think this is you. What you can't see coming in is I think you're going to just make a definitive decision. The situation is all about making a choice. Seven of Cups. And around that, what you can't see coming in is a separation. Lovers in the reverse. Why is that? Ace of Cups in the reverse. Falling out of love is Ace of Cups in the reverse. Heart no longer open to love with the Ace of Cups in the reverse. The immediate future situation is about the Two of Wands. Possibly being stuck at a crossroads, having to make a choice between two paths. For some of you guys being the situation with the Two of Wands. Around that, what will you experience? The Ace of Coins in the reverse. So I feel the situation is you guys making a choice between two paths. And the path, what you'd experience around those two paths, is that you choose no longer to commit to this individual with the Ace of Coins in the reverse. And the reason for that is because of the Ten of Cups in the reverse. Unhappiness. This relationship does not fulfill you. I think there's great unhappiness for some of you Leos in a relationship here, and I think you decide to leave it, and I think it's your call. I think it's your call. Ten of Cups in the reverse is great unhappiness. It's severance. It's family arguments. Family, I think there's disruption. You decide not to invest in. Some of you guys might decide to break a vow, for example, as well. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, because you choose not to invest anymore. There's just too much of a disruptive energy going on here. Too much unhappiness. No, there's no emotional fulfillment with that Ten of Cups in the reverse. And what's the overall outcome? Well, the High Priestess is the situation, so it might be that finally something is revealed. High Priestess. It might be some of you guys actually do leave, because High Priestess in the upright means to put up with stuff. You could sit for ages as a High Priestess and do nothing about a situation. In the reverse, this woman starts taking back control. So I'm seeing the situation being about somebody who's going to start taking back control with that High Priestess in the reverse. And around that, the overall outcome will be the Nine of Swords. You're going to be letting go of some worries here with the Nine of Swords reversed. And what's the reason for that? Death in the reverse. Why have we got Death in the reverse? How interesting. To me, you look like you decide to delay something here with Death in the reverse. Looks like some of you choose to stay. After all of that, you choose to stay. Because the High Priestess is also a decision card when it's in the reverse. In the upright, this woman chooses to put up with the situation. She doesn't do anything. She's passive. She waits. But this is no longer waiting. The situation is no longer waiting. I feel that it's almost like your hands are forced to do something with the High Priestess in the reverse, be the situation in the overall outcome. Or you're making a definitive decision with that High Priestess in the reverse. And around that, what you'll experience is the letting go of a worry, Nine of Swords in the reverse. Because some of you guys might decide just to delay making a decision with the Death card in the reverse. You might choose to stay. You might change your mind with the Death card in the reverse. You might choose just to stay or return. I think some of you guys want to leave a relationship here, Leo, from what I can see. But I don't think you do it in January, between the 1st and the 8th and the 15th of January 2018, Leo. I think that you either lose your bottle or you think, shit, you know, this is too much for me to cope with, and the only way that I can feel better is by staying or delaying doing this thing. Because I can see in the immediate future you guys have a choice between two paths. And around that, the overall outcome, the situation around that you'll experience coming in will be choosing not to invest in this relationship, not to commit to it. Perhaps even letting somebody down with the Ace of Coins in the reverse because of family disruptions. You might have an argument with this individual, but in the overall outcome, the situation is about the High Priestess in the reverse. It might be that the High Priestess where you decide finally just to take some action here, because around that the overall outcome is this action is all to do with releasing worries, Nine of Swords in the reverse, and the reason for that is because of Death in the reverse. Interesting, if I were to read it that way. So the situation about the High Priestess in the reverse, taking action. Around that, what you'll experience around taking action is a lessening of worries. And why are you starting not to worry? No, I'll read it the same way because of Death in the reverse. If it was Death in the upright, you decide to close the door or end something. It's in the reverse. I think some of you guys decide to stay. I think you find it easier just to stay within a situation than leave it. You've got all this build-up happening for some of you Leos. You've got a lot of build-up here. A lot of build-up. You're building up a lot of momentum to leave an individual, but you don't do it, I feel, for some of you guys. In the first 2 weeks of January 2018. I just feel that you've built up so much momentum and you're like, right, that's it. I'm gone. I'm doing it. But in the end, I don't think that you choose to do it, because the Death card can mean to delay a change or delay an ending. It means to stay, or it can mean to change your mind. It means to return at the very last minute. Let's get this reading again for you, Leo. So in the first 2 weeks of January 2018, I'm seeing a failed venture here. Failed passion, a lack of passion with the Ace of Wands in the reverse. If you look at the Ace of Wands in the upright, it's like an erect penis. In the reverse, it's like, I don't fancy you, I'm not aroused by you. There's a lack of arousal here. There's a lack of interest. There's a lack of passion, I'm seeing being the situation. And mentally and emotionally around that, I feel with the Eight of Coins in the reverse, this is about, mentally and emotionally, how do you feel about that? Well, you feel like you don't want to put any effort in. This might be somewhere along the line. You got sex problems. Some of you guys have with a partner, especially if you're a woman. You might have problems with a partner. Maybe sexual problems, for example, because the Ace of Wands can be problems with the penis, that type of thing. But I feel that you decide, you know, mentally and emotionally, you're tired, you're done. There's a lack of interest with that Eight of Coins in the reverse. A lack of wanting to work on this situation with the Eight of Coins in the reverse. Mentally and emotionally, you feel that you've come to a dead end. And I feel that it's because of a person around you, an Emperor in the reverse. I think you've got a very kind of weak energy around you, somebody that seems to be putting a chain around your neck. Because in your present situation, the situation is all about you guys, I feel, not being able to move on. And mental focus, these are areas here can also be where your mentality is focused as well. So it might be the situation, or your mental focus is, I can't move on, Six of Swords in the reverse. And around that, or somebody's not moving on with the Six of Swords in the reverse. And around that, you're experiencing great burdens. You're experiencing the feeling of being held or being in bondage with that devil energy. And I think it's because somebody refuses to move. They refuse to choose a new path. They refuse to go out there and do something else for themselves. Page of Wands in the reverse. I think this Page of Wands and this Emperor are the same dude. I think somebody around you is putting great burdens on you. I think it's somebody that you want to move away from. Somebody you've got no real interest in anymore. Might be that you've got no real sexual attraction to them. You don't want to sleep with them. Or there's something about them that just makes you feel, I'm not that interested in this dude anymore. Around your hopes, well, the situation is about the Knight of Wands. So a break being put on this relationship. And around that, your hopes are, well, I'm hoping that even though a break has been put on this relationship, I'm hoping that I can hold out. I'm hoping I can survive this, because what I want is a resolution to this issue. Three of Swords in the reverse. What I want is peace. What I want is for us to, at least for some of you guys, end up as being friends. But around your expectations, the situation is all about renewing this relationship. So your focus might be on, well, what if we could resurrect something here with the Judgment energy? But around that, what you'd expect is, well, if we were to resurrect this situation, I wouldn't feel too confident about this. Because all we'd be doing is living in the past. We're not living in the present. We're trying to resurrect something from long, long, long ago that probably can't be resurrected right now. What's coming in? What you can't see right now, and I don't think it'll be in the first 2 weeks of January. I think it's going to be sort of end of January going into February at some point. So don't worry about these areas here, because this will come. I feel the situation will be about choices, important choices that need to be made, that Seven of Cups energy, Leo. And around that choice will involve severing this relationship, the Lover's energy, because I think that you guys aren't in love with somebody anymore. Ace of Cups in the reverse. You no longer feel attracted to this individual. You might feel completely emotionally drained. You might also just say, you know what, I really want to leave. Ace of Cups in the reverse is about somebody leaving. That will come in, I believe, this area here for some of you guys, end of January going into February, possibly March time. And it can also be possibly the beginning of summer. The immediate future, though, what you're dealing with in the first 2 weeks of January 2018 will be that you have a choice between two paths. The situation is you've got a choice between two paths. And around those two paths, what you experience is that you decide that you no longer want to invest in this relationship because there's just too much disruption. Ten of Cups in the reverse, too much unhappiness in this relationship. But as a result of that, the overall outcome is, well, High Priestess in the reverse. I think that you guys, the situation is about you guys taking action. And that action involves trying to release some worry. And the only way that you guys can release worry at the moment is by staying put, Death in the reverse, delaying making any decisions. Here, I think coming in, you'll finally make a decision to release and walk away from this relationship, Leo. And I believe that that will be further on down the track. And even though here in the immediate future, you guys have a choice between two paths, in which what you'll experience is the Ace of Coins in the reverse. A lack of interest, a lack of wanting to invest with the Ace of Coins, a lack of wanting to truly commit to this relationship because there's just too much unhappiness. Ten of Cups in the reverse. There's distance in this relationship. You're putting on a happy face, but it's not true. But the overall outcome from that is, well, I think the situation with the High Priestess is you really do decide to take control of this situation. Because the overall outcome around this is about you guys releasing worry, Nine of Swords in the reverse. And the only way you can release the worry at the moment is by staying put with the Death card in the reverse. Delaying making any important decisions. I'm just going to ask the cards why Leo will delay making an important decision. Why will Leo delay making this important decision to move on in the first 2 weeks of January 2018? Why will Leo delay this? Because of the Queen of Swords. I think you've got mixed feelings about whether you don't want to invest in this relationship. Queen of Swords can be mixed feelings as well, because Queen of Swords is one hand held out, one sword up, so this can be mixed feelings. I think it's because you guys have got mixed feelings with that Queen of Swords energy as to whether you want to completely withdraw yourself from this individual, because Six of Coins in the reverse means not to invest, not to be charitable, not to do any give and take in the relationship. So I feel that you've got mixed feelings with this Queen of Swords as to whether you truly want to withdraw from the relationship completely. And that's why you seem to be delaying making a decision by the end of the first 2 weeks in January 2018. Okay, that's your reading, my darlings. I'd like to say, Leo, thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe, and I'll speak to you guys on your live spread reading. Take care.